Curtis Lako, KCB captain. KCB the Kenya Cup champions in 2016-2017. Keep it locked. The Three Quarters podcast.
Easy.
Episode 21, part 2 of Kenya's premier sports video podcast, the Three Quarters podcast. Or if that is hard to say, just say 3QP. Today being 23rd of April 2017, Sunday 23rd of April 2017, we are shooting from Kilimani, and we want to thank our hosts for giving us some time and some space to shoot episode 21 of the Three Quarters podcast. We start by thanking the fans, followers, viewers and subscribers. We don't take it for granted that you guys take your time, you spare your time to watch each and every one of our episodes, and on behalf of the Three Quarters podcast, all we can say is Asanteni. This week we do not have any quotes from rugby legends like we did in last week's episode, but what we can do is continue with the clarion call that we've always had since the inception of the Three Quarters podcast. The game of rugby is 15s. This is where our superstars are, and we need to focus on the game of 15s if we want rugby to get to the lengths that we think we should be at. It is as a result of that we've created the Road to Japan hashtag to garner support for the Kenya Simbas as they begin their World Cup qualifiers. They start with a test against Germany on May 27th in Nairobi. They then go on to play Uganda, Senegal and Tunisia in Nairobi. They fly out to Bulawayo in Zimbabwe to face Zimbabwe and wrap up with a game against Namibia in Windhoek. Jump onto the Road to Japan hashtag because these boys are the superstars of Kenya rugby. This is Ngashi, official noisemaker.
Jerengus, Kenyana.
And we're going to part 2 where still matters rugby. We start with our section Bad Man of the Week. Ngus, who was your Bad Man of the Week, man?
Bad Man of the Week, undisputedly, that should be Oliver Mang'eni.
Yes.
Better known as Olishe.
Yeah.
KCB. He's a KCB second row.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy was quite super.
Uh-huh.
His ball carrying was actually quite excellent.
Yeah.
If I may say so. And then his 2 tries.
Yes.
You can see how sharp and his mind was on the game.
Yeah.
His first one was he capitalized on a mistake by the prop.
Yes.
Cabras prop.
Yes.
Took it, and you could see the Cabras guys. They just sat at the halfway line.
He was off.
And he was off.
Yeah.
He just scored it easily.
Yeah.
His second try as well, coming from a line out.
Yeah.
Again, we just ran into the try box as well.
Yes.
And his tackling, his defense was quite good.
Yes.
We always know him more of the line out stories than any.
Yeah.
But then again, that day was an off day for the hookers, not
him.
Yes, not him.
Not him. Yeah.
So Bad Man of the Week, Oliver Mang'eni.
Was Oliver Mang'eni. I have to agree with you. What actually makes me like the guy is that Oliver Mang'eni is a very good person. In terms of personality-wise, he's a very jovial person. He's a guy you sit down, and he's a guy who, when you get into the game, you can actually see he's there. He's like the emotional leader of the team.
Yeah.
He's there driving the guys, smacking them on their back, telling them, "Chief, tuendeni bana, later your line out." He's a line out general, as we've said. And I goes back to what we kept on saying about the selection of the Kenya Simbas. I do not know what method they used, but Oliver Mang'eni did deserve to be in that team.
He deserves to be.
Anyway,
I think he will be.
Yeah.
Pawonje was there.
Yes. Oliver Mang'eni, Bad Man of the Week.
I think Nash, you mentioned, I'm not to the Kilonzo brothers.
Yes.
Don't go to.
Yes.
Yeah, the defense was quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys really played some nice defense rugby.
They were able to shut off Nick Baraza completely. Yeah. But anyway, Oliver Mang'eni, I do agree with you, is our Bad Man of the Week, which takes us to the next topic, Rugby 101, where we try to educate our viewers about the game of rugby, and we've been talking about breakdown infringements. As we say, we'll keep on repeating until we are done with breakdown infringements. The breakdown situation is in between when a player is tackled and when the ruck is formed. Therefore, there are a couple of infringements that normally happen at in the breakdown situation and at the ruck, and this is where the game is normally determined a lot. So today we're going to be discussing about the offside. And the offside line is an imaginary line drawn at the foot of the last player in the ruck. Therefore, the person who goes into the ruck, when the guy is going to the ruck, the guy who's going to be the last in the ruck, the last foot, that's where the offside line is drawn. That's the imaginary line. Of course, that some of the notorious infringements is coming into the side, which we discussed, of course, 2 episodes ago. but that is the offside line, and you'll normally see it results in a full arm penalty, which we told you last week, and the sign is normally offside. So that's offside at the infringement. Sorry, offside as a breakdown infringement.
Actually, it's this.
Yes, sorry, this is coming into the side. Sorry, it's this. So anyway, that's our Rugby 101 topic. Takes us to our next topic: the Kenya Under 20 national team, popularly known as Chipu, were down in Madagascar to play in the African Cup. Ngus, you have the results?
We faced off Zimbabwe, beating them 34-24.
Yes.
Then we went on to lose to Namibia, sadly. 66-24.
Heavily to Namibia, 66-24. But what do you have to say about the Chipus outing in Madagascar and the general state of under 20 rugby and what you'd want to see being done to development rugby, because indeed that's development rugby.
Yes, that's development rugby, as you said.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that they're getting out there and getting to this big stage.
Yeah.
Being exposed to this type of tournaments.
Yeah.
Playing the likes of Namibia. Of course, Namibia, these guys are way ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because probably most of the players are playing some professional, if not semi-professional rugby down south in South Africa and all.
Yeah.
And they're well supported visually. All you can do is get the union to get behind them. Provide, because most of these guys are Kenya Cup players.
Yes, they're Kenya. Actually, I want to mention a couple of them. There's Roxy Suchi, who plays for Harlequins. There's Steve Otieno, 8th man at Homeboys. There's Benjamin Marshall, centre at Nondis, fantastic centre. And of course, Gabi Odero, who's the 8th man at Strathmore, who's actually the captain of the under 20 team. So there are a couple of Kenya Cup guys and starters. And
Not guys for bench.
Not guys for bench. So I like what you say, that it's good that these guys get exposed right now, because
they're the future.
They're the future stars. They're the future Simbas. Exactly. They're the future Simbas. So big up to Kenya under 20 team Chipu. You did us proud in Madagascar, and all we can ask our viewers and the general public is to keep on supporting these boys, because as Ngusale has said, these are the future stars of Kenya rugby. Then we go to a mixture of Europe and Down Under. The Lions, the British and Irish Lions tour to New Zealand. They're going to be touring New Zealand later on this year. Of course, their tours are every 4 years, and they tour the Southern Hemisphere teams. I don't know why I suspect in the future we're going to be seeing British and Irish Lions touring Argentina.
Soon,
but yeah, going to see. But anyway, the squad was named. Sam Warburton being picked as captain, second person to do second time after Martin Johnson. Warren Gatland, of course, the second New Zealand coach to coach the British and Irish Lions tour. Out of the squad that was chosen, a couple of new faces, a couple of old heads. How do you feel their chances are against the New Zealand All Blacks?
Are there teams that have any chance of winning these guys? But then again, I think the British Irish Lions, they just might have a good chance against New Zealand. They're quite a strong team. Consisting mainly of the England guys, the English and
Irish and Welsh.
They have like three guys from Scotland.
Two Scotland guys.
2 or 3 guys from Scotland. Just a loose bench warmers perhaps. But I think they're a strong team. They're a strong side that will give New Zealand a run for their money.
Yes. I do. I think they're going to steal one game in New Zealand. The last time the British and Irish Lions were in New Zealand was in 2005, and they were hammered 3-0. In fact, there was a video that was going viral, and the team was named that we have footage of a man attacking some lions, and that was the test. That was the series in which Dan Carter broke out, because Dan Carter in game 2 scored 33 points against, and of course that's when he announced himself to the world. Maybe it's Barrett's turn. Anyway, we don't know. I think the Lions are going to steal one game, but New Zealand will still win the series, maybe 2-1. But anyway, the British and Irish Lions tour are happening later on this year. They're going to be touring Aotearoa, the Maori name for New Zealand, the land of the long white cloud. So make a point of keeping tabs, because Lions rugby is always entertaining, and they're supported by a very boisterous crowd of British and Irish supporters. So Lions tour later on this year. Takes us to the Super Rugby results. I'll read them real quick. March day 9. The Hurricanes beat the Brumbies 56-21. We had the Waratahs Waratahs lose to the Kings 24-26. We had the Lions beat the Jaguares or the Jaguars 24-21. We had the Highlanders wallop the Sunwolves 40-15. We had the Crusaders whipping the Stormers 57-24. We had the Force lose to the Chief 7-16. We had the Bulls.
Mighty Bulls.
Not mighty. It's mighty, maybe. Mighty Bulls beating the Waikato Chiefs 2014. We had the Sharks draw with the Auckland Blues 9-9. We want to remind you guys that we have our fantasy, a Super Rugby Fantasy 3/4 Fantasy League happening. The code and the URL are running at the bottom of your screen. Make a point of joining the 3/4 Podcast Fantasy League, and let's compete and see if indeed this kelele that guys pick on the sidelines can be translated into solid points in managerial, in the manager's hot seat, for lack of a better word. This has been episode 21, part 2 of the 3/4 Podcast. As always, we ask you guys to like our Facebook page, to follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is Ngasho Official Noisemaker.
Jiringus, Kanyana.
Stay tuned for episode 21, part 3.